Picture this. You're Aja Wilson or Jonquel Jones. You've battled through an entire season of physical exhaustion, endless travel, and emotional highs and lows just to reach the finals. This is supposed to be your crowning achievement, the culmination of everything you've worked for. The cameras, the spotlight, the roaring crowd. But when you step onto the court and look around, you don't see fans. You see rows of empty red seats staring back at you like hollow reminders of what once was. The sound of sneakers squeaking echoes louder than the cheers. The energy isn't electric. It's dead. And when you later check online to see ticket prices for this supposed marquee event, your stomach drops. $6. That's how much it costs to attend the WNBA Finals. This wasn't supposed to happen. Just a year ago, the league was basking in what many called its golden season. The 2024 WNBA campaign broke records across the board: attendance, viewership, merchandise, sponsorships. For the first time in decades, people genuinely cared about women's basketball on a mainstream level. And one rookie from Iowa was the reason why. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she transformed it. Every game Clark played was an event. Tickets that used to sell for $20 or $30 suddenly went for hundreds. Arenas that had struggled to fill half their seats were now sold out weeks in advance. She brought with her not just fans, but a movement. Young girls wearing her number 22 jersey, fathers bringing their daughters to their first WNBA games, celebrities showing up courtside. Clark wasn't just a player, she was a phenomenon, and when she led the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance in years, the league hit an all-time high. The Fever's chemistry with Aaliyah Boston turned them into a must-watch team. Social media exploded nightly with highlight reels of Clark's logo threes and no-look assists. She made women's basketball cool again. But that momentum was fragile, and nobody realized just how dependent the league had become on her star power, until she was gone. When the Fever were eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, the casual fans disappeared almost overnight. TV ratings didn't just dip, they cratered. Games that had once drawn millions of viewers now struggled to break six figures. Attendance nosedived. A 50% drop from Indiana's games to the conference finals wasn't just a warning sign, it was a crisis. Behind closed doors, panic spread through the league office. Executives were alarmed. Sponsors who had poured money into WNBA partnerships started calling for emergency meetings. TV networks, particularly ESPN, who had invested heavily in production and coverage, were now facing embarrassing returns. Internally, it was chaos. One insider even admitted, "We built the entire season around Caitlin Clark and forgot to plan for what happens when she's gone." Meanwhile, the players who had spent months downplaying Clark's impact were suddenly confronted with the reality they had refused to accept. Aja Wilson had been vocal about the league's growth being a collective effort, not the product of one player. She wasn't wrong about the years of hard work that had built the foundation, but she was wrong about the draw. When she stepped into that half-empty arena for Game 1, the silence spoke louder than any crowd ever could. This was supposed to be her coronation. Instead, it became her public reckoning. Cameras caught the discomfort. Wilson forcing smiles during introductions. Jones shaking her head during a timeout, muttering, "This is embarrassing," into a hot mic that instantly went viral. Broadcasters tried to keep the energy alive, calling it an intimate atmosphere, code for nobody showed up. Fans roasted the league online, posting side-by-side comparisons of packed Fever games and empty finals arenas. One viral TikTok used sad piano music over footage of ticket prices dropping each day before Game 2. It racked up 3 million views in a single day. The humiliation didn't stop with the fans. Players lashed out online trying to defend the league. Wilson tweeted about respecting the game and real fans showing up. But the replies were merciless. "Where were they?" One comment read, "We saw the seats." Jonquel Jones posted about loyalty and support, but that only fueled more anger. People were tired of being guilt-tripped for not watching games that failed to excite them. The internet can be cruel, but it's rarely wrong about energy, and energy was exactly what was missing. Sources later revealed that during the finals, multiple players confronted league officials, demanding to know why marketing had evaporated after Indiana's elimination. Why weren't they promoting the finals like they had promoted Caitlin Clark? The answer was simple, because she was the only storyline that sold. Without her, they had nothing to market. By the time the finals ended, it was clear the league had entered an existential crisis. Attendance was the worst it had been in years. Ratings had collapsed. Sponsors were reevaluating contracts. And overseas interest, which had been booming during Clark's rookie year, had completely dried up. European broadcasters started canceling WNBA airings. Social media analytics showed engagement down nearly 80%. The global expansion the league had dreamed of vanished overnight. Meanwhile, Clark herself was quietly recovering from her shoulder injury. Yet even while sidelined, she generated more buzz than the finals. Workout clips she posted on Instagram drew more views than game highlights. When she attended an Iowa women's basketball game, the crowd erupted in chants of her name for 5 straight minutes. The league's biggest star wasn't even playing, and she was still outdrawing its championship. The aftermath has been sobering. In the months following the finals, players who had previously criticized Clark's hype began walking back their words. Wilson on a podcast admitted that the energy was different without certain players. She didn't say Clark's name, but everyone knew who she meant. The league, learning from its painful lesson, wasted no time pivoting. Promotional materials for the 2025 season feature Clark front and center. The Fever's games have been strategically placed in prime-time slots. Teams are literally restructuring their schedules to maximize matchups against Indiana because they know those are the only games that sell out. Sophie. Cunningham's addition to the Fever only amplified the frenzy. Her fiery personality paired with Clark's leadership created a storyline fans couldn't resist. Preseason ticket sales shattered records. Some games sold out within minutes. It became clear people weren't just watching the WNBA, they were watching the Caitlin Clark League. That dependency comes with risk. If Clark gets injured again, if she decides to take her talents overseas, or if burnout sets in, the WNBA could collapse back into obscurity overnight. But for now, the league has no choice but to ride the wave she created. It's a dangerous balance, one that highlights both the opportunity and the fragility of women's sports. Caitlin Clark proved that women's basketball can command massive audiences, and money when the right star leads the way. But she also proved how dependent that success can be on a single personality. The empty seats at the 2025 finals aren't just a blemish, they're a warning. Without connection, authenticity, and star power, even the brightest moment can fade into silence. So what's next? Can the WNBA evolve beyond Caitlin Clark, or is it destined to live and die by her presence? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Was this finals collapse a wake-up call or the beginning of the end? And if you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we're not done uncovering the drama that's reshaping the future of women's basketball.